Hi guys, this is Annie. I hope you all are doing great today. And today I have this really bright summer geometric design for you. So I hope you like it. And let's begin. And these are the items that I will be using in today's manicure. Starting from my right, I have my lint brush, some pure acetone, my nail polishes, including my base color, as well as my first layer of colors and my stamping polish. I also have my fast drying top coat, and to the bottom I have my stamping plate, my scraper and my stamper, as well as some jewels and some nail tip guides. And for my tools I have a pair of tweezer, a cleaner brush and some cotton. So now that we have everything here ready, let's begin. Alright, my sweetheart, so the first thing I did was I went ahead and I have painted all my nails in white, and the white that I use was my paparazzi white. It's called icing on the cake, and any white will do, but this is the one I choose to use. And the next thing we're going to do is apply that base color above it, in other words the first layer of nail polish. Now the reason why I apply the white first is because it really makes the colors at the bottom of the nails here really pop. You don't have to do this if you have nice dark colors and you're using that. You don't need the white. But so the colors that I choose to use as the first layer was yellow, purple, I have a bright pink, and I have somewhat of a light green. So basically the way we're going to apply these is you could sponge it on if you want, you could brush it on. I'm actually going to brush it on really quickly today, and I'm going to show you the two designs that I have used, one of them being the full nail and one of them being the half nail. But again, for all the nails you need to polish them all in white and let that dry thoroughly before we move on. And then you have to wait until this is dried as well, and then we can go stamping. So for the first thing we need to do is we need to get some guiding tapes ready. I am going to do both of them at the same time. Leave this one in plain white. We're not going to touch that one. And then we're going to do the guide on the thumb instead, okay? So I am basically using my triangular guiding tape. And if you don't have these, you can go ahead and use masking tape or scotch tape. Just cut it in the design that you would prefer your tips to be in. And I'm going to apply it halfway down the nail, making sure it's lined up nice and neat, and that looks good. And the next thing we will be doing is getting that first layer of multicolors on the nail. So I've already gone ahead and opened up my nail polishes, and we're just going to stroke it on. It doesn't look like much while I'm doing it. It actually looks a little bit sloppy at the beginning, but once you get the geometric design stamping on there, it really hides everything up, and when you apply the top coat, it really makes it shine out. So here I have my purple, and basically what I'm just going to go in and do is brush on little spots here and there. It doesn't have to be neat. Just go ahead and brush it on as much as you like of each color, and fill that nail up as much as you could with the colors. So here I go, a little bit of pink, a little bit of that green, and last but not least, the yellow. And I am leaving a little bit of the white in there as well, but you could barely see it because it's so nice and colorful. You can go ahead and leave some more white if you choose to. And we'll give this a couple seconds to dry. I'll be right back. Alright, my darling, so my nail polish is dried, and while that was getting dried there, I went ahead and applied my latex so we could begin stamping. And for tonight, the stamping polish that I am using is my regular black Born Pretty polish. And the stamping plate that I will be using is for my Pueen Geo Lover collection, plate number 1. And the design I'm pulling out is this one right here. I will be using my Born Pretty clear stamper for this, so you could see that better. And let's get stamping. So here, like I said, I'm going to pull out this little image here. So be generous on the polish to get a nice clean scrape. And for the index finger, I'm going on a nice full layout. So here we go on this one. Just roll it on. And there it is. And now I'm going to just press down the lifted images on there. And that one is done. And once I apply the top coat, then you can see that black really pop out. And now we go ahead and we do the half design on this. I left everything as is. The only thing I did was I went ahead and I applied some latex on there to get that stamping polish not stuck to my fingers. So we are going to be very careful when you go ahead to apply the image on that. If you want, you can go ahead and take a piece of masking tape and cover up the white so you don't get that all messed up. But I am actually going to work around it today, and I'll show you how I'm doing that. Instead of doing the whole image from the stamping plate, we're just going to use half of that, make it small. Since it's only a part of the nail we're doing, we don't need the whole thing. Here it is. And then we're going to work around this. So the way I'm going to do it is I line it up from here to here. And then just roll the nail onto it. And that's it. Press it down. And at this point, we can go ahead and remove the latex if you're using latex, as well as the nail tip guides. So this would be a good time to do that. And for that, I have my little tweezer. Let's just pull it up from the sides here and clean all the excess polish off from around the nail that we don't want. Take these off. And gently lift the nail tip guide off as well. And there you have your tip. We still have to paint on this, but the first thing I want to do is go ahead and apply my top coat to that, and then we will put the jewel on. Now for this one, we can go ahead and apply the regular top coat. For the other one, I'm coming back to using my green, and I'm also going to get my jewel. And for this, I'm just using some really bright squares here that I have, and I'll be using the purple color. And of course, to pick that stuff up, I will be using my handy dandy little wax pencil that I love so much for picking up jewels. So if you don't have one of these, you can go ahead and grab a little tweezer or something. And I am using my fast drying top coat, which is the Out the Door brand. It's my favorite. And let's begin. Go in and top coat those two nails. So I'm being very generous on the nail polish here, starting from one end, move it over to the other. Try not to swipe over the same spot twice, and don't forget to cap the tips off your nail to protect the nail from chipping of the nail polish going upwards. So that one is done. And coming to this one now, I'm actually going to do one layer of top coat to seal that image on. There we go. And also, we're going to put our jewel in there right away. So be careful when you do this. Make sure you don't drag that polish off the stamping image you just put on there, because you'll end up with black streaks on the white. And then you take that little jewel and you go ahead and stick it right down on the middle, like such. And then gently press down on it to secure it into that nail polish. And we're not done yet. Now we have to go and put in the green polish. Now, I have tried to put just the green nail polish at the bottom, but the color wasn't too bright, so that's why I end up doing the entire nail in white and leaving it there. And then I tried to put the entire nail in this green over the white and then go ahead and put the other colors in, but that didn't work because all the other colors changed color as you mix them. So this was the easiest way I found to do it. You go ahead, you apply a top coat, leave it white for now, and then you go back in and you take the same little brush. You might need to get a detailing brush, and then we're going to paint around that jewel in the shade of green. So it's a little bit of work, but it's not too hard. So you just go in and gently paint around it. And I say gently because if you go too fast, you can mess up the nail polish. So take your time and don't press too hard either because it's going to distort the polish at the bottom and you're going to have a lot of lumps. Now right now it doesn't look very good, but once we put that second layer of top coat over that jewel and the entire nail, it's going to smoothen out everything, and then it's not going to look so lumpy and distorted as it's looking a little bit right now. So just make sure and go ahead and paint nice around it. Make sure all the corners and stuff is covered with the polish. And then we have to let that dry for a few minutes because it's a nice thick polish I'm using. So I'm going to let that dry for a few minutes. And then we will go ahead and apply the second layer of top coat. So let me wait it out. I'll be right back. Alright guys, so it's nice and dried now. I can go ahead and apply my top coat. This is the final layer, and you also want to be very generous when you're applying the top coat on this one because you want to go over that jewel to lock that jewel in so it doesn't fall out. So just like when you stamp, you start from one end and you work your way over. At this point I am going above the jewel as well, and I'm securing that jewel in. I'm applying a lot of top coat. Again, that's going to lock it in and it should stay on longer, and also it smoothens out the nail so you don't feel the bump of that jewel just sticking out. And that's pretty much it for this manicure tonight. Take a closer look at the pictures and I'll be right back. And here's the finished manicure, guys. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video tonight. And if you have any questions, feel free to write to me. I'll answer you as best as I can and as fast as I can. And don't forget to subscribe for my upcoming latest videos as well. Thank you all so very much for popping by and watching my video. I do appreciate it, and have yourselves a good day. Bye now.